Okay, in an episode of Britain's Newsroom on Thursday, December 4th, 2025, I stated that Thomas Markle, the Duchess of Sussex's father, brought Meghan up while her mother, Doria Ragland, was in prison. I believe this to be the case based on what I now understand to be misinformation I had seen online. I was questioned about the validity of this claim during the broadcast, and I repeated this belief, which I now understand to be false. This was a genuine error. I accept what I have now been told on behalf of Miss Ragland, that she raised her daughter and that she has never been in prison or jail. I apologise sincerely to Miss Ragland and her family for any pain my comments may have caused, and I'm happy to set the record straight.
Can I just say on behalf of TV News, because I was on the programme that day, we all wish to apologise to Miss Ragland for the error, and we are happy to correct the record.
Have you ever wondered how the media shapes our perception of individuals, and what happens when the truth is buried beneath sensational headlines? In our modern world, information travels at the speed of light. A story, true or false, can chamber where whispers become roars and voices compete for our attention. But what happens when these voices distort the truth, provoke and divide? The media's power is immense, and so is its responsibility. Doria Ragland was a private individual, a yoga instructor, her thoughts and history. Columnists like Carole Malone crafted a fictional version of Doria, using stereotypes and coded language to create a sense of otherness. Her neighbourhood was disparaged, her past twisted to fit a narrative of struggle. Every detail was examined and distorted, not to understand Doria, but to create a character for a sensational story. This process dehumanizes, reducing a complex person to a malicious caricature. The real Doria was ignored. A phantom took her place. Her life became a commodity, sold for clicks and controversy. The media's goal was never understanding, it was profit. And Doria's true story was lost in the noise. Let's examine a specific claim. Carole Malone wrote that Doria Ragland abandoned her mother, who was supposedly living in poverty. The truth? Doria's mother had passed away years earlier. This fact was easily verifiable, but the story was fabricated to provoke outrage. It wasn't a mistake, it was a deliberate choice. Outrage sells. Sensational headlines generate clicks, shares, and revenue. A lie like this, published by a major outlet, takes on a life of its own, repeated, shared, and believed. The real person at the centre, Doria, is left to deal with the consequences. Her reputation is tarnished, her grief exploited for profit. This is how a false narrative is born. A lie is created, amplified, and a human being is harmed. The economics of modern media reward controversy, not truth. The damage is immense, and the truth is often buried. For Doria, the cost was deeply personal. For the public, it's a lesson in how easily fiction becomes fact. When the falsehood about Doria's mother was exposed, the publication issued a quiet apology. But apologies are often buried, lacking the drama of the original lie. The correction is whispered while the lie was shouted. These apologies are rarely about making amends, they're about damage control. The columnist faced few consequences, and the false image remained in the public mind. This cycle, outrage, retraction, hollow apology, erodes trust in the media. If we can't trust the press on simple facts, how can we trust them on complex issues? The sound of a forced apology is the sound of a system failing its duty. The media turns private lives into public spectacles, using powerful tools. It starts with othering, highlighting race, class or background to make someone seem alien. Doria's identity as a black American woman was used to create a caricature, not a person. Once othered, the media invents conflict, family feuds, secret resentments, all for drama. Anonymous sources and invasive reporting turn every detail into ammunition. Paparazzi and reporters dig relentlessly, treating her life as public property. The goal: generate outrage, drive engagement, and profit from controversy. The person at the center is reduced to a villain or victim, their humanity lost. Doria's private life became a weapon, fueling a cycle of profit and pain. The real cost? Her dignity and our ability to see the truth. Amid relentless attacks, Doria Ragland responded with quiet dignity. She didn't engage in public battles or issue angry statements. Instead, she was a lesson: in an age of noise, there is strength in stillness. She maintained control of her story by living it authentically. Much of today's media is driven by outrage, not accuracy. Emotional stories drive engagement, while truth and nuance are sidelined. Sensational headlines go viral, even if they're misleading or false. Journalists are rewarded for controversy, not careful reporting. Social media algorithms amplify the most divisive content, creating a feedback loop. The result? A polluted information ecosystem where outrage drowns out truth. It becomes harder to distinguish credible journalism from manufactured drama. This harms individuals and erodes trust in society. The culture of outrage is a corrosive force far beyond celebrity gossip. When the media operates without accountability, the consequences are deeply human. Doria Ragland endured public character assassination based on lies. Her privacy was destroyed, her grief exploited, and her name dragged through the mud. For media outlets, a small fine or buried apology is just the cost of doing business. The power imbalance is vast corporations versus private individuals. This lack of accountability encourages journalistic malpractice. It damages the profession and erodes public trust. The human cost is paid by direct victims and by all of us as truth becomes harder to find. Real accountability is essential to protect individuals and our shared reality. The press must use its power to inform, not to harm. Doria Ragland's story is a call to action for all of us. We can't be passive consumers. We must think critically and question what we read. Demand better from media institutions. Support journalism that values truth over outrage. Hold outlets accountable when they cross the line. Our choices, where we place our attention and money, shape the media landscape. Real accountability means more than a tiny correction. It means real consequences for deliberate harm. Regulators and editors must enforce high standards. Let's carry Doria's lesson of quiet dignity forward. Refuse to be manipulated by those who profit from division. The truth matters. It's worth fighting for.